Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? Hang on. What's good? What's good? Let y'all come through real quick. Let y'all fall through real quick. Y'all make sure you're hitting that like button when y'all come through. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that like button when y'all come through. Eagle fan, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. I ain't seen you in a minute. Where you been at? I know you been watching the preseason games. I see your boy Stingley. I'm not Stingley. But Stingley did get one. But I see your boy, Sauce got his first career pick. What's good? Make sure y'all hitting that like button when y'all come through. Make sure y'all hitting that like button when y'all come through. That's it. Make sure you're hitting that like button. We gonna get to talking about the what this week looking like. Even though Texas on a bye week, still gonna talk about. I'm still talking about this NFL week. What's good? What's good? What's good? A couple of y'all more fall through. Prime time was up. Catalyst, what's up? What's good? Cool. Oh man, you got hit by a hurricane. Hope everything go cool. Everything good over there. Just catching up on everything. Your Texans own the Jags. Our Magic looked great in the preseason. Yeah, it's the preseason, but yeah, especially last night, that front court looked it very promising. Franz Wagner is going to make a run at the All Star team. He could if he continue to play like this. Congratulations, Stingley, for his first career interception. Yeah, I mean, it was a decent interception. I mean, in my opinion, it changed the complexion of the game. Definitely changed the complexion of the game. What's up? What's up? Paulo looking like a grown man out there. He really is. He really. Why you playing like he really low key is, man. But first things first. Before we get into the week, man, big ups to Damian Pierce for jumping into the big ups for Damian Pierce for jumping into the top five of yards. Right now, Damian Pierce is fifth in the whole NFL in rushing yards. He's third in the AFC. Nick Chubb is number one. Saquon Barkley is number two. Josh Jacobs is number three. Miles Sanders is number four. And Damian Pierce is number five. I said Damian Pierce is sitting up there with 412. Miles Sanders at four got 414. Josh Jacobs is third with 490. Saquon is second with 533, and then Nick Chubb almost got 600. He got 593 yards. I mean, Nick Chubb's out there doing the thing. Uh, also on top with seven rushing touchdowns. On top of that, I mean, everybody else, Saquon, Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, and Damian Pierce all have three. I mean, Derrick Henry has five. Derrick Henry got 400. Derrick Henry's at six with 408 yards. I mean, Damian Pierce got more rushing yards than Derrick Henry. And we already know that Derrick Henry is the whole Titans offense, kind of like how Damian Pierce, as of right now, in the first 5 weeks, is the Houston Texans offense. If I think he's averaging like 82 yards a season. If it like going, he's on pace. Dan Pierce on pace to end up having 1,400 yards this season. I know it is an extra game added. 17 like the last year and this year we played 17 now. So in our previous year, he would be on pace to average a little over 13, which is still very good. So 14, because when you get into the 14, 1,500 yard range, you're in okay all-star level type of backs. You know what I'm saying? When you just crack the first 1,000, okay, you're serviceable. When you're in the 12 to 13 range, okay, now you're actual a legitimate starting running back. Because like any people can just get 1,000 yards, but you're serviceable at 1,000. When you get 12 to 13, okay, now you're a solidified number one running back, number one receiver, whatever the yardage is. You getting to 14, 15 and beyond, now you're talking about you're an elite all-star level status. I know it's just a game added, and that's what also will help him to get to that 1,400 yards if he gets to 1,400 yards. But I said this going into the season, I feel like he should be the dark horse for offensive rookie of the year because really not that. I mean, going into the season, there was no clear cut. Hey, this guy should be rookie of the year. Like next year, you're gonna have people competing like your C.J. Stroud, your Bryce Youngs, your Bijan Robinsons, your Bouttes, uh, potentially Hendon Hooker, potentially Will Levis, things like that. So it's going to be offensive talent next year. Okay, there's a lot of people vying for the offensive player year because it's a lot of talent. This year it's the opposite. It's gonna be a lot. It's a lot of people vying for it because there really was no clear cut guy, and that's why I thought that Dameon Pierce really had a shot, and he's proven to be having a shot. I mean, that run he had was a grown man run, and you see everybody's talking about it. Like Dameon Pierce for 3 weeks in a row now, 3 weeks in a row, he's getting a lot of national attention. He's getting a lot of national a lot of national attention. A lot of national people are talking about Dameon Pierce. The NFL for 3 consecutive weeks have posted Dameon Pierce runs. They posted the run he had against the Bears. They posted the 75-yard touchdown. They posted the power run when he almost scored a touchdown. I mean, if he would score a touchdown, they run it, even though he scored a touchdown, they drive. But if he would score a touchdown, they run it would just made it look even more beastly. He's getting a lot of attention for the last 3 weeks, and I think it's all warranted and it's all good attention. And I'm glad. Like I said, the Texans are going to the bye week, so I'm more likely he won't be fifth when the Texans resume. But he is at 5 because this is the first bye week of the season. So he's at 5. He is at 5 while everybody's playing the same amount of games. Because from now, because this week is the first week of the buys. So from now into like I say, like probably like December. From now until December, it's gonna be very, 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 very funky on stats of who's leading who realistically because people are gonna be having bye weeks. So until the bye weeks or that everybody no longer has a bye week, then it will be like you'll go back to what the stats really are. As of right now, the stats are legit, and then by December, like I said, for the rest of this month, all of November, the stats are going to be kind of fugazi, for lack of a better words, because of that. But like I said, let's get into the season and let's get into this week. So start the game off. No, before I do, let me start into the standings because that's another thing. So as of right now, entering week 6. The playoff race looks like this. Buffalo Bills have the number 1 seed at 4-1. Kansas City is the number 2 seed at 4-1. They actually play this week. Tennessee will be the number 3 seed at 3-2. Baltimore will be the number 4 seed at 3-2. The Jets will actually be the first wild card team at 3-2. Miami would be the second wild card team at 3-2, and the Chargers would be the last seed, the 7th seed at at 3-2. That's the AFC standings. And in the NFC, Philadelphia will be the number 1 seed at 5-0. Minnesota will be the number 2 seed at 4-1. Tampa will be the number 3 seed at 3-2. San Francisco will be the number 4 seed at 3-2. Dallas will be the first wild card team. They'll be the 5 seed at 4-1. The Giants will be the 6 seed at 4-1, and Green Bay will be the 7 seed at 3-2. That's how that ends up. And the current draft order would be. Let me see. All right, the current draft order follows this: Carolina at the number 1 pick at 4-1, Vegas the number 2 pick at 4-1, Pittsburgh the number 3 pick at 4-1, Detroit the number 4 pick at 4-1, the Commanders the number 5 pick at 4-1, the Houston Texans are the number 6 pick at 1-3-1, Atlanta is the number 7 pick at 2-1. The Texans have the 8th pick because of Cleveland's pick at 3-2. I said 3-1. I'm sorry. 2-3, 2-3 for the Falcons, and then also 2-3 for Cleveland. But that pick goes to Houston. The Eagles have the number 9 pick from the Saints at 2-3, and then Seattle is number 10 at 2-3. Now, also 2-3 that's outside of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, and 16 and 17 for that matter. So picks 7 through 8, pick 7 through 17. Those 10 picks all are tied up at 2-3, and pick 1 through pick 5 are all tied up at 1-4. That's kind of what happens when you're talking about in the beginning of the season. Just like the same thing with the playoffs. So one team could win or one team could lose, and it can change all this because a week ago the Texans were the number 1 pick, and now off of winning one game they go all the way from 1 to 6, and like I said, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4-1 teams that play in front, 5 4-1 teams in front of them, and I know the Raiders won't be able to change that because they have a bye week. So now let's go to the schedule. Now, the Washington Commanders at 1-4 go into Chicago on Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime Thursday Night Football, to face the 2-3 Chicago Bears. That the Chicago Bears are breaking out their orange helmets. I think the Bears will probably win because the Bears are a better team. I'm gonna be rooting for the Commanders because I want them to win. I want them to get that they have a better record because as of right now they have they're half a game above the Texans in the standings when it comes to the draft because of the Texans have that tie. So I will want the Washington Commanders to win that game. But I think the Bears probably will win. The next game on Sunday, you have the 3-2 49ers going to Atlanta to face the 2-3 Atlanta Falcons. I think the 49ers win. I definitely think the 49ers win. You have the next game. You have the 2-3 Patriots versus the 2-3 Browns. I'm going for the Patriots. Plus, I think the Patriots actually would win. I actually think the Patriots will win. So I think the Patriots win that game. You have the 3-2 Jets going to the Green Bay Packers, who are also 3-2. I think Green Bay beats the Jets. You have the 2-3 Jags going up against the 2-1 Colts. Remember, they shut the Colts out. Was it 27-0? 27-0 a couple weeks ago. The Colts are a horrible team, but the Colts are at home. But also the Jags, the Colts can't beat the Jags. Just like how the Jags can't beat the Texans, the Colts can't beat the Jags. But this game's a little bit different because they're at Indy. I think the Colts going to win. I'll take the Colts to win that game. You have the 4-1 Minnesota Vikings going to Miami to face the 2-3 Dolphins. I think the Vikings win, especially if Tua's not playing. I think the Vikings win. I haven't heard any word on Tua. If y'all haven't heard any word on Tua, let me know. But I haven't heard anything about Tua, so I don't know if Tua is going to be playing in that game. You have the 2-3 Bengals going to the 2-3 New Orleans Saints. I think the Bengals will actually win that game. You have the 3-2 Ravens going to the New York Giants to face the 4-1 New York Giants. I think the Giants are a little bit of a fugazi 4-1, so I think the Ravens actually do come away with that victory in that game. You have the 3-2 Buccaneers going against the 1-4 Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh is really not a good football team, man. Pittsburgh is really not a good football team. And I know it's kind of weird to see Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin being that high in the draft. I think what they like the third pick in the draft, and also them being 4-1. Ben Roethlisberger's not playing. I know Ben Roethlisberger was a shell of himself the last couple of years. Like really, like the last 4 to 5 years, Ben Roethlisberger has been a shell of himself. But even still, him being a shell of himself, kind of like what Drew Brees was in New Orleans, he was still a shell. He was a shell of himself, but he was still good enough to win certain games. So it's still good enough to keep you above float and at the very least in the conversation when it comes to the postseason. So I think Tampa Bay wins. I think Tampa Bay wins. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers go to 1-5. The 1-4 Panthers go to the 2-3 Rams. Um, the Panthers probably the worst team in football. They just fired Matt Rule. Baker, I know Baker's supposed to be out if I'm not mistaken. Sam Darnold's out, so I think they're gonna be starting PJ Walker. If y'all know PJ Walker, he was the quarterback for the Houston Roughnecks. When back in 2020, when the Roughnecks was out there balling and was en route to being actually was the best team in the XFL and would have won the XFL championship outright. I mean, I know they claim themselves to be the 2020 XFL champions, what they should because they never lost, undefeated, never lost like LeVar Ball, but they didn't get a chance to actually go and actually win the championship because they didn't have the game. So that's going to be the quarterback. Normally teams we see here in Houston. Normally teams when the team fire their head coach, that normally like lights a little fire and they'll go on a little run. I mean, I know a couple years that happened with the Dolphins. It happened because it happened against us. The game when the Dolphins put up 42 points at halftime against us. The reason why the Houston Texans ended up signing Lamar Miller because he had two 50-yard touchdowns was the first game after they fired their head coach. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Lions head coach was the interim head coach, if I'm not mistaken, in that game. But I think the Panthers gonna win. I think the Panthers because I think the Rams are not a good football team. To be honest with you, I don't think they ran. Like I wasn't high on the Rams last year when they went to the Super Bowl. Now, hey, they went to the Super Bowl. You really can't say nothing. But the Rams have not looked good. Has not been a game none this season that the Rams actually really look good. So I think the Carolina Panthers gonna get upset. New head coach, PJ Walker playing. I think they're gonna get upset. The 2-3 Cardinals go to the 2-3 Seattle. I think Cardinals win. I think the Cardinals win that game. I actually would want Seattle to win, but because I know they're a team that could potentially get a quarterback, but I think the Cardinals are going to win that game. Uh, the 4-1 Dolphins. I'm sorry. The 4-1 Bills go to Kansas City, plays the 4-1 Chiefs, and that game right there is going to be determined. Uh, Obviously determine who has the tiebreaker when it comes to having the number one seed. As of right now, the Bills have the number one seed, and the Chiefs are the second seed. Uh, we'll see. We gonna see if Josh Allen can do what he did in that divisional game. It was probably one of the greatest football games I've ever seen. That divisional game a year ago between the Bills and the Chiefs. Really don't know why this game is not a primetime game. It's a 325. Even though the primetime game that comes on Sunday night, I definitely know why that game's a primetime game, and it needs to be a primetime game because of also the record and before that, just the quality of the two teams. I understand why it's a primetime game, but the Monday Night Football game shouldn't be a primetime game. The Monday night game is the Broncos and the Chargers. And I know that game had a lot of juice probably coming into the season. Even still, the Bills and the Chiefs are to a priority. I mean, and then you have the Commanders and the Bears. And I know every team has to get an NFC. I know every team has to see every team has to get a Thursday night game. But yeah, yeah. But this game should be a primetime game. But I digress. I think the Chiefs win. I think the Chiefs win. I think the Chiefs win and beat the Bills. And like I said, the Sunday night game is the Cowboys, the 4-1 Cowboys going to Philadelphia to face the 5-0 Philadelphia Eagles. Like I said, definitely understand because the Cowboys always get primetime games. And then if you look at the matchup, a 4-1 team and a 5-0 team, it definitely is warranted. And Dallas might have the best defense in the whole NFL. Like Dallas defense is for real. Like Micah Parsons is that dude. Like Micah Parsons is definitely that dude. And that's a legitimate defense, like I said, if not the best defense in the NFL. But I'm going with the Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to win that game. I think the Eagles are going to win that game and go 6-0. I think the Eagles going to win that game and defeat the Dallas Cowboys. I mean Cooper Rush. I mean I wasn't real high on Jalen Hurts coming out of the draft, but I root for Jalen Hurts. I want Jalen Hurts to succeed. I actually want the Texans to draft Jalen Hurts. I thought that he could be a good backup behind Deshaun Watson at that time. But I mean, he's out there proving to be a starter, and I want him to succeed. I want him to play well. I want the Eagles to pay him. And not just because that's a team that could potentially get a quarterback. It's not that. It's that I actually genuinely root for Jalen Hurts. Like especially when you hear Jalen Hurts talk, I genuinely root for Jalen Hurts and want Jalen Hurts to succeed. And like I said, the Monday night game is the 2-3 Broncos versus the 3-2 Chargers. I think the Chargers win and defeat the Denver Broncos. Like the teams with the bye week is the Houston Texans, the 1-4 Lions, the 1-4 Raiders, and the 3-2 Tennessee Titans. So at the very least, no matter what, the Texans will highest the Texans will go when next Sunday ends and the new draft order pops up for next week. Texans at the very least, not the very least, the Texans will be no higher than third because they can't. The Lions and the Raiders won't fall down, and then they could potentially can be third because no other 4-1 team plays each other. Yeah, it's the 1-4 plays against the 2-3 team. A 1-4 plays against a 3-2 team. A 1-4 plays against a 2-3 team. So yeah, they never and then the other two have bye weeks, so they won't have to worry about that. But I'm sorry. But in saying that, yeah, the Denver Broncos having another primetime game. I think I seen somebody say that the Broncos have another primetime game. Yes, I said the same thing because they started off the season Monday night versus Seattle. Then they played against, was it the 49ers? Was it the 49ers? They played on Sunday night already. They played on Sunday night versus the 49ers. And then they had the Thursday night game against the Colts. And now they have a Monday night game versus the Chargers. So that's that's 4 games. That's four primetime games in the first 6 weeks of the season. Let's actually look at their schedule. I want to see if they got any more primetime games. Cause that's crazy. That's crazy. So, a Monday Night Football versus Seattle, which they lost 16-17. Sunday night, just a regular Sunday afternoon game versus Houston Tech. Well, actually, I think Sunday 3:00 game versus Houston Texans. They won that game 16-9. Sunday night game versus San Francisco 49ers. They won that game 11-10. They played against the Raiders on a regular Sunday game, 23-32. They lost that game 32-23. Then Thursday night, the Thursday night game, they lost that 9-6. So I already played Monday night, already played Sunday night, already played Thursday night. Now about to back door and play another Monday night game. So that's 4 primetime games in 6 weeks. And then they have a Sunday night game, December 11th versus the Chiefs. So they still got another primetime game. They still got one more primetime game. Now at least this one is spread out. You got 4 primetime games in 6 weeks. At least this one, at least this one is another one, two, 1, 2 got bye week, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 weeks out. And then even in that 7 week stretch, they have another quote unquote prime game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It must be a London game because it says 8:30 in the morning. So they still will be one of the only shows on TV. Like, is it? I mean, I guess that's what happened when you get Russell Wilson. But dang, like dang, that's dang. Man, 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 man. Man, 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 man. Hey, shout out to that boy, Broderick, the Be For Real show. I did a video with him yesterday, talking about the dangers of of youth sports, of youth football. You know, especially if you in Texas, we all know that youth football is big. Football from all junctions is big. If it's the NFL, if it's high school, if it's college, yes, even youth football. My son plays for youth football, so I know it firsthand. I've coached it, and obviously just as a parent watching them play. And yes, there's a lot of dangers, and not just on the field. Actually, the dangers on the field are actually kind of like the least issues when it comes to it. So we did a video that he said that video should be on YouTube today. So make sure y'all check that out on the Be For Real show. Check out that collaboration. I was supposed to have a video drop today. I've been teasing it a little bit. A lot of people in the Discord, if you ain't in the Discord, you need to be part of the Discord. A lot of people in the Discord know I've been teasing a video, and I didn't get a chance to do it because like I said, me and Broderick did that video. I had some other stuff I take care of earlier, so I didn't get a chance to do it before. Because me and Broderick Britt had this set up, so I didn't get a chance to do it before I got a chance to do the video that me and Broderick was doing about the youth football. So don't worry, that video is coming. So if you're on the Discord, you're like, I thought you was talking about the 12th. It's don't worry, it'll be tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, it'll be Friday. But don't you will see it will be here very soon. It'll be here before you know it. Um, see what y'all in here talking about. I see people up here talking about C.J. Stroud and Will Levis. Will Levis is not the guy. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I'm not a fan of Will Levis. CJ Stroud and Young are the two guys I remember people hyping up the Gators quarterback. Yeah, Anthony Richardson. I'm not how Anthony Richardson is all. I think Anthony Richardson needs to he needs to stay another year in college, and he might be able to benefit from that. Who are you asking who you want to text in the draft? Are you asking him? CJ Stroud. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. That's why I want to text in the draft CJ Stroud, but they have to have my opinion. I feel like they had to have the number one pick. The Texans, I feel like the Texans had to have the number one pick to get CJ Stroud. What do you think of all these from the Patrick calls? And the NFL needs to. I mean, no, they're gonna obviously keep doing. They're obviously gonna keep doing those roughing the passer calls because of. I mean, that's just how the league works right now. That's just how the league works. They definitely they want a lot of points. They want a lot of scoring. They know offense sells tickets. They know offense drives. That what sells jerseys. That's what sells revenue. That's what gets people watching. That helps the TV deals and all those things. So that's one of the reasons why you really can't just we're gonna build our defense and have this top notch defense. It's not really gonna work. It's not 1980 when the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens or the 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and even to a lesser degree, even the Legion of Boom. Yes, you don't want to have a putrid defense. You don't want to have a defense like that you can't stop a nosebleed. So you do want to have defensive players. And you do want to have talent on defense. But at the same time, they much rather that Bills and Chiefs game versus. I'm trying to think of a good defensive game because obviously the game Thursday night was horrible, was not a good game to watch. Trying to think of a good defensive game. 2011, 12. I'm sorry, 2012. Houston Texans versus Chicago Bears, 13-10, if I'm not mistaken, or was it 13-7? Something like that, either 13-10 or 13-7. I can't remember exactly what it was. That was a good fought defensive game, but that's probably not a good example. Um, Obviously they didn't want a game like the Texans had the other day, the 13-6, but they want those high scoring shootout games versus. I'll just say like the game that was on Sunday night, the Bengals and the Ravens. That was with 13. Well, 13-3. What was that score? What was the score Sunday night? With the Ravens and the Bengals. Yeah, 19-7. Actually, they put up more points than I actually thought they did. But still, they don't want a game like that. They don't want a game like that. They would prefer to have that shootout game that they had. They don't want to have defensive battles and defensive struggles, even if it's not just a sloppy bad performance. When there's actually two good legitimate defenses out there, really like playing good sound defense. They don't want that. They want the fireworks. They want to be razzled and dazzled. They want to be jumping out their seats with Mahomes doing behind the back passes and Josh Allen running over people and shit like and just off his back foot just so they want things like that. They want bombs. They want 80-yard touchdowns, 90-yard touchdowns. They want things like that. They want Damian Pierce to break a 75-yard run, not Damian Pierce run over everybody. That's what they want. They want the high power fireworks. So those roughing the passer calls are going to be out there because they want defenders to ease up when it comes to quarterback. Come on, that's the reason why quarterbacks I hate be wearing red jerseys during practice. And a lot of times people be fooled, be like, "Oh, this quarterback is good during training camp. Oh, he's having a good training camp. He's having a good preseason." No, he's not. He ain't getting touched. He ain't getting touched. So he know no matter how much that pressure's flying in, they're not gonna touch me. So I can stand in the pocket and deliver the football because I'm not gonna get touched. In an NFL game, that ain't what about to happen. You not go. Like, they ain't no red jersey on you, even if your team jersey is real. Like yeah, Mahomes has a red jersey every game. He gonna get hit. So um, they're transitioning more so the defenders are easing up so they don't come in and hit the quarterback so the quarterback can stand in the pocket, hang in the pocket, and deliver the football downfield to get the high power, the fireworks, and the scores and the points. That's all it is. So that's the reason why you got these roughing the passer calls, you got all these pass interference calls and things like that because they definitely want this to be very, very explosive type offenses. That's what they want. They definitely want that. Yeah. But what am I about to say? But like I said, I'm definitely proud that I'm glad that Damian Pierce is, like I said, been able to get his recognition from the NFL. He's able to get his recognition from the NFL. Um, Kind of hate that we have a bye week this week. Cause no, I said we got early bye. Like we got the first bye of the year, and it's happening right when Damian Pierce is potentially be rookie of the month. Now, there is two more games left in this month that Damian Pierce will be able to play against the Raiders and against the Titans. Uh, we'll see exactly what he can do in those two games. Because if he could play well in those two games and have more dominant performances, maybe he could still win Rookie of the Month. If I'm not mistaken, we haven't had a Rookie of the Month since Deshaun Watson's actual last month of the rookie. Because Deshaun Watson won Rookie of the Month and AFC Player of the Month in the same day, and also tore his ACL in the same day. So he did do all that. Like he did do all that. And just like so that would be the last time, if I'm not mistaken, we've had uh last time I'm not mistaken, we would have had a Rookie of the Month if he would have had, if he wins, if David Pierce can win Rookie of the Month. I'm trying to think, have we had, when was the last time we had Offensive Player of the Month? I know obviously it had to be Deshaun Watson. Did Deshaun Watson have any Player of the Month in 2020? I know he had Player of the Week against the Patriots. Because you can only win Player of the Week when you win. Like, at least Player of the Month is throughout the month. Like Player of the Week, you could be balling every day. You could be balling every game, but if your team lose, you won't get Player of the Week. So it's only reward to the teams that won that game. So Deshaun, I mean, you only won 4 games in 2020. You beat the Jags, you beat the Titans, you beat I mean not the Titans, you lost the Titans. Should be Titans. You beat the Jags, you beat the Jags, beat the Jags, you beat the Jags, you beat the Lions, and you beat the Patriots. And I think they got one against the Patriots because their last win was against the Lions. And I think Deshaun Watson won AFC Player of the Week during the Patriots. Um, because he couldn't win. Nobody from the AFC could win from Detroit because this should have been Deshaun or Will Fuller that Thanksgiving game, but then that was also that following week was the same game where Tyreek Hill had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. In the first quarter, he had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter versus Tampa Bay. So you already knew he was going to get AFC Player of the Week unless the Chiefs would have lost that game, and obviously the Chiefs didn't lose. So let's see what Damon Pierce can do. Hopefully he can get Player of the Month. Like I said, hopefully he can get Rookie of the Month and Rookie of the Year type situation because he's definitely doing it for the Houston Texans. He's definitely putting the Texans on his back, on his legs, and he taking us to victories. But is that really warranted? I don't know. You have to stay tuned. Like I say, hey, appreciate everybody that came out. The preview schedule for me, or preview the week for me, and have my little predictions out there. Appreciate everybody that liked, everybody that comment, everybody that shared, everybody subscribe. Hey, shout out to everybody on Saw Sports, the whole round table, Honcho, Wink, Ray, Tenny, Hector, Wise, Swisher. Hey, shout out to the whole round table, even that boy Trio. Shout out to the whole entire round table. Hey, Trio, I gotta get at you. Hey, Trio, I got to holler at you too. But like I said, shout out to everybody out there. Appreciate all y'all coming through, checking out the video. Like I said, be on the lookout because I have a video discussing the dangers of the number one pick, or the danger of not getting number one pick, depending on how you look at it. Like I said, I was gonna have it drop earlier today, but some things came up yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do it before I did the other video. So if not tomorrow, it should be up tomorrow. If not tomorrow, Friday, but it should be up within the next couple of days. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that. Like I said, Texas on the bye week. So hey, we're not gonna lose this week. Not gonna be can't lose during the bye week. Can't win either. And we'll see what happens when we play against the Las Vegas Raiders in 2 weeks. We'll see if Devontae Adams, if he gets suspended. I mean, the guy, if I'm not mistaken, decided to press charges after the game. Devontae Adams pushed somebody. So we'll have to see exactly how that works out. Will he be suspended? Will he play? We'll see exactly how that is in another couple weeks. But like, hey, appreciate everybody keeping that. Make sure you hit the like button. I see way more people hitting the like. So before y'all go, if you ain't liking the video, man, just hit the like button. I mean, you ain't have to super chat. You ain't have to comment. Just hit the little doot 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 doot. Hit the like button, bro. Just hit the like button. Get the likes up. Like I say, appreciate everybody coming through. Like I say, don't worry. I will be back again on Friday to preview the college football because college football is going to be very, very interesting this week. Very interesting this week. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that. I holla.